I'm going to replace the regular Spider-Man eyes with the Ultimate eyes. This is sold as a kit basically, so it has the white, which goes here. So it's going to replace these eyes here. Now, it's a lot bigger, which is great because before I messed up on the crazy glue right here. Now, a couple of tricks. So, the reason I messed up was because I put it in the microwave too long. So when I got this, it's flat, and basically I put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Check on it, make sure you don't burn, and then it becomes bendable. This allows you to basically wrap around the face. If you don't, it's going to be hard to detach it. Is to remove the old one without taking out too much of the fabric. You'll notice that the old one, I put paper towels in here accidentally, but the eye side that I need is very small, so the rest of it can be covered with fabric, no problem. This is the new thing. It's going to fit way over this. But before I cut any of this spandex, I want to actually put it on. I actually want to be careful about it. So first I'm going to take the old one out, and then I'm going to glue the new one. So you can see here I've taken out the initial frame and the silver backing, which is lined here. I'm trying to preserve as much of this as I can. So let's use a pliers here because the new mask is a lot bigger. I'm going to just unroll it. Okay. So the advantage is I have a nice flat surface to glue the new one to. And I'm going to trim it. I use a sewing type of scissors because it's very sharp. This brand is called Westcott. This is what it looks like on the other side. So it's pretty stiff here. The original glue was not crazy glue, it was the Gorilla Glue. I recommend crazy glue instead because it doesn't expand so much. If you'll notice, when I glue it on the other side, there's a little bit of the glue here. So you want to basically either use a clear formula or just use regular crazy glue. So now you can see that we have the eyes off, and we're going to use the industrial strength glue called A6000. You can see here that this can fit, not perfectly, but with enough points. The hardest part is holding it in place, of course. So first we're going to glue the frames, and then we're going to stick the eyepiece inside. So I'm going to glue the outside frame first, then stretch it tomorrow right there. And you can see that the eyes are rubber banded. I glued the frames partially. I haven't glued this side so I can slip the pieces in through there. And I use rubber bands to hold everything in place. I'm still going to touch up any pieces that might not be glued properly. So I'm just going to carefully go through the frame and just make sure it's attached in all possible places. Here I'm probably going to use a heat source to bend it a little bit closer. I don't want to stick this in the microwave again. It's pretty forgiving actually once everything is finished. So step 2 is to make sure that we remove a little bit of glue so that there's enough for us to fold the lens in. I know it looks pretty bad. I also cut a little bit more. I don't have to because you don't need that much to see, but I just wanted to make it a little bit more comfortable. So now we're fitting in the pieces, and I took a little bit of glue out just by pulling it. I'm trying to test fit it here, make sure it fits comfortably. It might be too big, I might have to trim a little bit. Be very careful when you trim. Don't trim too much off. Just trim a small piece and then test fit it again, and then do the same thing. And do one side at a time. So notice how this piece curves down. Make sure to follow the curves. Slip it into the bottom part. And it should fit nice and comfortably. If not, make note of the areas that need work and just try again. So now we've put the lens in. You can see there's still imperfections, but I used a hairdryer to bend this, and I kind of broke this, but that's okay. I'm going to just glue it. And then I'm going to glue the final piece once everything else sets. Unlike the epoxy glue, the crazy glue actually can hold pretty well. Just to hold it there for a little bit. So you can see that I have glued the eyeballs. I used a little clip here to basically hold it in place. Let me work on the other one. So you can see here, this is the original. I want to make sure I've put a little bit gap, so I want to make sure there's enough space so that I can slip the lens in. But I want to be careful not to pull too much because I don't want to undo what was glued. Remember that the inside was glued with the epoxy resin, so there's a little bit of stretch, versus the crazy glue, which won't have any stretch at all. Now we just have to put this lens top in, and in order to do that, you need to basically make it fit perfectly. So I've just been trimming little pieces off the edge to get to fit perfect. You can see here, I want to overlap a little bit, not too much. There you go. So just be careful not to trim too much and try to balance it. See here a little bit of the side is sticking out, but that's okay. So now that it fits, I'm going to put some crazy glue in the middle. It's going to do a couple things. It's going to help me secure the frame lens. I'm going to put it as tight as I can around the border. And I'm going to do the other side later. So enter through the side, making sure I move pretty fast. Insert it into the flap side. Align it. And center it. Now I just gotta hold it in place, and the crazy glue will do the rest.